I want to talk about the Indiana Pacers because the Pacers were one of those teams expected by many, including myself, and I'm sure the majority of Pacers fans before the season started, they were expected to be one of those teams that were going to be in the Victor Wembenyama sweepstakes. And 37 games into the season, they are 6th in the Eastern Conference. They are the 6th seed right now with a 20-17 record. I'm recording this before the Pacers play the Raptors today. And the one big reason why is that man number 0 for the Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton, who they traded for last year from the Sacramento Kings, which actually is now ending up as more of a win-win trade for both sides. If you ask me, I still personally wouldn't have made that trade if I were from the Kings' perspective, but of course it has worked out tremendously for Sacramento. Domantas Sabonis is an all-star, should be a surefire all-star this year, but we're not going to relitigate the trade. I want to talk about Tyrese Haliburton and how he has gotten the Pacers to a point where it's looking like this rebuild is going to be accelerated. They're not going to be in the Victor Wembenyama sweepstakes, and really, they just should keep playing and letting their young guys develop. And we're going to talk about Tyrese Haliburton because he has not only been playing like an all-star this year, he should be on the Eastern Conference all-star team. Over the last month and a half or especially in December, I've noticed a trend with Haliburton where he is morphing into a closer for the Pacers, and in general, just as somebody who is a go-to guy when it's the heat of the moment and it's nut-cutting time and clutch situations in the fourth quarter. And the Pacers have had some fantastic wins this month, winning in Golden State, beating the defending champions on their home floor without Haliburton, of course. Andrew Nembhard just dominated Golden State. But in the last 6 games, the Pacers are 5-1, and they have beaten some really good teams, and it's all because of the fourth quarter heroics of Tyrese Haliburton going into Boston and not only kicking the Celtics' ass in the first half, but when the Celtics were making their runs as all elite teams do, in the fourth quarter, every Celtics run was answered by a Tyrese Haliburton big shot, a big 3, a big floater, and you know you're good when the opposing team's announcers are just like, God damn, this guy's really good. And, you know, you can make the joke that Wally Zerbiak's recent dumbass comments about Tyrese Haliburton being a wannabe all-star has spurred this run, but the reality is we're just seeing a player grow in general right before our eyes, even though this year already he has been playing like an all-star all season, but he has taken his game to another level. Up here on the screen, you will see the fourth quarter stats month by month, and you could just see in the month of December, all month, he has just improved not only tremendously in the fourth quarter, he was good in the fourth quarter the first 2 months of the season, but in December, he had just took it to another level. Of course, we all know the buzzer beater he hit against the Miami Heat, a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And then on Sunday, you know, I was watching the Pacers-Clippers game, and he just absolutely took over against a team that has all the size on the roster to guard players like Haliburton, and it just didn't matter. He was making tough drives, tough floaters, hitting some pull-up threes, and it's not like this was all out of the flow or, you know, outside of the flow of the offense. He picked his spots. He knew when he could take his shots, when he could take over after getting everybody else involved. And of course, you know, it goes without saying, he's one of the best passers in the NBA. Not only one of the best passers in the NBA, but one of the most efficient passers. He leads the league in assists, and out of the top 7 in assists, he is the only one that's averaging below 3 turnovers a game. He's averaging 2.5 turnovers per game, which is a full turnover less, more or less, than anybody in the top 7. And out of the top 10, he is one of 3 averaging less than 3 turnovers per game. But I limited it to the top 7 because it has all the high usage ball handlers like Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, who is second in assists and is just putting together another MVP campaign, but that's a video for another day. Tyrese Haliburton is one of the most efficient, effective, and great passers in the NBA already. He is morphing into, you know, when he was a rookie in Sacramento and I was watching him, I thought this dude could be a second or third best player on a championship team because I thought he was that good. Well, I'm wrong. This dude is going to be a flat out superstar, in my opinion. He is already, in his third year, one of the best players in the Eastern Conference, one of the best passers in the NBA, and with the way the Pacers have drafted, I mean, their 6th overall pick, Benedict Mathurin, is having an amazing rookie season, and he's coming off the bench. They're starting their 2nd round pick, Andrew Nembhard, who is one of the more steady players, and you could just tell he's going to have a 12-year NBA career with just the way he plays. The Pacers have drafted well. Myles Turner is having a career year, and really they should just extend him already, and he should stop being in trade rumors because he is just the type of guy to play off of guys like Tyrese Haliburton. Buddy Hield is on a hot streak right now. How long will that hot streak last? I don't know. I've seen Buddy Hield in Sacramento a lot. He'll go on these hot streaks, and then when he's cold, it looks bad, but he's playing good right now. The Pacers are playing good ball. They have a good coach in Rick Carlisle, who, I don't know, maybe it's just me from the outside looking in. Maybe Pacers fans can let me know in the comments below how they feel about it, but it just feels like Carlisle has relaxed his coaching style a little bit, changed his coaching style to just let these kids play, make mistakes, and I'm sure that was the plan heading into the season when everybody thought that they were going to be tanking or, be a bad team in the Victor Wembenyama sweepstakes, but it seems like his relaxed coaching style, not relaxed because I'm sure he still coaches players hard, old habits die hard, and I'm sure Carlisle is still getting into these players' asses, but it just feels like he's not as much of a control freak as he was in his past, and these kids are just playing, making mistakes, and I think it's good for their development. I mean, look at guys like Aaron Nesmith, who really couldn't pan out in Boston, and he's been putting together some good minutes lately. They still have veterans like TJ McConnell, who is always going to be steady, and of course TJ McConnell, for me personally, will always have a special place in my heart as a Sixer fan, but he is somebody who is a really good backup point guard for them. The Pacers so far this season, I imagine all of this is just great development for their young players because they are in the thick of the playoff hunt right now. They are 20-17 as of this recording. They have beaten some good teams, and I'm sure as all young teams, they will go through another valley as opposed to peaks, but they are in the thick of the playoff hunt right now, and it's led by a star player who is growing right before our eyes.